at Bet365.
This season, we're swinging for doubles. New Bud Light Double Lime, here for a limited time. A refreshing taste that's easy to enjoy.
Danny Jansen with a home run last night. He and the Blue Jays take on the Dodgers today on Sportsnet 1. Here is the big board presented by Bet365. And here is Blake Murphy, who stood in that spot not long ago, and you told me and our audience that fastball usage in baseball is down dramatically, and yet you're back again to say there is this one guy.
Yeah, I did not lie to you, but Tyler Glasnow has not got the message on the decline in fastball usage. While that is true league-wide, Glasnow has gone from using his four-seamer about 43% of the time last year to 53% of the time this year. Now, why would he do that? Well, it's a very, very good fastball, one of the best in baseball. You, of course, have the 96.5-mile-an-hour velocity that pitch averages, but Glasnow also has a 97th percentile spin rate on his fastball. You see there what that looks like. That gives a fastball that rising effect that comes up and in on a hitter. So that's very effective. We have a metric called Stuff Plus, which takes the velocity, the shape, the movement of a pitch, and grades it out compared to everyone else in the league. He comes out at 118 in Stuff Plus, which is a top 5 mark among all starting pitchers in baseball. And Jamie, you're going to see him looking up at it. He's going to turn around at the Rogers Center, look for that radar reading, look for the H and the V on the board if you've ever seen those here at a game. He wants to know how those pitches are moving.
Okay, so you're talking about actual velocity here, but you're here to also tell us that there is something called perceived velocity. What is that?
Yeah, perceived velocity, look, our reality is not always the way we perceive it. Not to go all Plato's allegory of the cave, but the way you feel velocity when you're in the batter's box is a little different than just the radar reading. So with Tyler Glasnow, this is a 6'8" pitcher who is super athletic, and he uses that to get this terrific extension down the mound. Here you see him on the mound. He's going to get that great stride length. Again, he's 6'8", and per StatCast data, that tells us he's going to release this ball about 7.5 feet down the mound. Now, what that's going to do for a hitter is you have a much shorter window of time to judge that pitch, to judge where it is, to judge what type of pitch it is. Imagine if someone's running at you from 20 meters away or 5 meters away, same contact, but you got more time to get out of the way. So what this does is it turns Glasnow's 96-mile-an-hour fastball into something that feels closer to 99 miles an hour when you're in the batter's box.
Great stuff. I always learn something with Blake Murphy. He's part of the big board presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And consider that the Blue Jays' last victory came with Kikuchi on the mound. That was Monday in Kansas City when he went 6 innings. Now, Joe, this is just the 6th start of the year. I get it, but he has shaved 40 points on the batting average of right-handed opponents to this point. Why?
Well, Blake just talked about the great fastball from Tyler Glasnow. It's going to be a battle of fastballs this afternoon because Yusei Kikuchi's got a pretty good four-seam fastball himself, but he's done it by increasing his four-seam fastball usage and also increasing his curveball usage to right-handers. He'll backdoor it. He'll go stay in the middle of the plate or away from them. He's reduced the slider usage, but he's used it more to put hitters away later in the count. So the four-seam fastball is up around 95 to 97. The curveball is more in that 83 to 85 range. So he's got a good 10-mile-per-hour plus disparity there. And then, of course, that slider is a wipeout down. And he has made an adjustment with his pitch usage. It's worked, and it's been much more successful.
Amazing what confidence looks like on the mound. When he came to Toronto, he had 2 pitches maybe as a starter. What Pete Walker in the pitching department has been able to do, nothing short of a miracle, to be honest with you. He's machine-like on the mound with his windup. What does that allow him to do? It allows him to be able to throw it in the lane that he wants to. That builds confidence. Then you start to build confidence, think, I've got a grip on those pitches. I'm going to start experimenting with a little bit slower curveball, maybe even a changeup, different grip. This is a guy that's maturing in front of our eyes. This is what the Blue Jays envisioned when they signed him to this contract. And it's amazing to see a guy kind of go through it, be full of confidence knowing I have weapons and I have weapons to protect my best pitch, which is that fastball.
2 very dangerous lefties in the Dodgers lineup. That's why it's even more important that he takes care of the right-handers.
Coming up on Blue Jays Central, a unique perspective to be presented on the broadcast today. We'll give you a little tease as to what that might be. And Hazel has a conversation with Danny Jansen, who is ready to go today against Tyler Glasnow.